Wine Agencies Limited, Qual, sent me this Nederburg wine, and it's the Winemasters Chardonnay, and it's what we're going to be drinking for our wine talk today. And we're going to be talking about the wine industry in Kenya and how it has changed. This is a more technical video, but if you're in the wine and spirits industry, you might want to tune into this one. I think everyone who loves wine might love a good Chardonnay. It's a very nice wine, very creamy, very versatile. And today, which Chardonnay do I have? Let me grab it real quick. Yes, today I have another of the Nederburg range, but this is the Winemasters range, and it's a 27 Chardonnay. So in a wine, when you see 2017, just know that is when the grapes were harvested. So yeah, it's a wine from Paarl in South Africa. And yeah, when we look at the back, sometimes the back can help you see what you expect in that wine. They say that it has lime, melon, vanilla, and it's open to a fresh, creamy palate with a touch of citrus and apricot. Sounds delicious, right? Before we even open this wine, let's talk about Chardonnay for a while. Chardonnay is a very easy drinking wine, especially for those people who are getting started with the white wine. It's not as easy drinking or as subtle as the Sauvignon Blanc. I did another video where I was reviewing the 2017 Manor House Sauvignon Blanc by Nederburg, but today I'm doing the Chardonnay. Chardonnay is more creamier, more full of character, and it can be made in many ways. So this is how the bottle looks. It's very different from the other bottle, which this one is a bit more rounder, and the other one was more like cylindrical. Sorry, I don't know how to describe the names of the bottles. I know there is a name for those bottles, and there's a reason why they're made in specific things, which we might cover in another episode actually. So in terms of the awards, we can see it has a quality award for IWSC, which is the International Wines and Spirits Competition Quality Award in South Africa. In most wine bottles, sometimes these little things here can give you an indicator of a wine, whether it won an award or whether it's good to drink. Sometimes these things can be little indicators that a wine is good. Once you read here and read the label and also check the vintage, which is the year that the harvest took place, it's always a good indicator. And we can see it's a screw cap. Obviously, these are the labels that Kenyan producers put. There's the integrity and sustainability, there's the normal KRA stamps and everything that we put. And is it screw cap? Yes, it is. And what I mean by screw cap is this is what we call, okay, focus, let me see whether it will focus. Still not focusing. Yeah, this is what we call a screw cap, and you can see there is no cork. And even just from opening the wine, I can already smell like it's gonna be a good wine. And yeah, I have a glass, the same De Grendel glass that I had used. Let me just bring it closer. When you get a wine, the first thing you do is just look at it and see the type of color that it has. And I have a white background. This is the best way to look at a wine. I'm gonna do this for you guys. My background is not very purely white, but you can see it's a notebook. So this is how it looks, mostly straw colored, almost green yellow, very light. This wine smells really nice. Sorry, that's my phone. This wine really smells nice. I can smell some citrus, some melon, some pear flavors, just like the bottle indicated. It says lime, melon, and vanilla, but I can also smell, I think, pineapple. Sometimes when you're drinking wine, whatever you're smelling does not always have to be what's on the bottle. In fact, I try to stay away from what's written on the bottle, try see whether I can get my own type of flavors and aromas. And yeah, you swirl it to sort of open up a bottle, open up the wine. The reason why we swirl is wine has been blocked, it has been locked here since 2017, and you've just put it in a glass. So it's best that you swirl it. And I had chilled it, I don't know at what degrees I had chilled it, but I chilled it for 20 minutes in my fridge. And yeah, it's really chilly. In fact, you can even see it was already misting on the side, but I wiped it with a cloth. So yeah, I had already chilled the wine. White wine should be chilled, served chilled, but every wine has its own serving temperatures. But I like to just pop it in the fridge and not be too fancy. But for red wine, you don't have to really chill it. This wine tastes of the same flavors that I was smelling, but it's buttery. And if you watch my other video about the Sauvignon Blanc, you can tell that there's a difference between a Chardonnay and a Sauvignon Blanc. In terms of the texture, it's very creamy. I don't know how to explain creamy. The other one was more tangy, zesty, fresh. That is the Sauvignon Blanc, but the Chardonnay is very creamy. And yeah, and that is why, like, when it comes to serving, you should serve this with creamy dishes, you know, creamy spinach, just creamy dishes. And in Kenya, I would say, like, the same, your dishes, the ones that you make, you know, those dishes you put like coconut milk and cream, or even like a light sandwich, you can pair with this, especially when you're doing picnics. Or I know it's like every wine I keep saying you should do picnics with, but this is a really nice wine for picnics or outdoor. And in fact, you can even enjoy it on its own on a Sunday like today. Now, today's topic, while we do the wine talk, I want to talk about the wine industry in Kenya and how it has changed over the years. When I got started with my blog, I started also, you know, being so interested in the industry and what is happening. I had done a bachelor's degree in economics and finance, and part of what we used to study was to look at different, like, industries, the growth rates, you know, from an economic perspective and also from a financial perspective. So in as much as I was interested in more the flavor profiles of the wine, I was also, you know, sort of keen on what companies are coming up, what's the percentage of consumption, you know, all those numbers. I really love numbers, and so I was more interested in that. So when I started my blog, I remember searching for wine events in Kenya. That was in 2013, and there was only one event that kept recurring. It was like, I think, Fine Wine Show or something of the sort, and it was a 2013 event. No, it was like a 2012 event. It kept recurring. There was no one doing wine tasting dinners. It was only one, and I remember feeling so bad. In fact, I kept searching online for wine events in Kenya, you know, and there was nothing except those maybe intimate events whereby like a brand is launching something, and not really events open to the public. In 2014, the situation was the same, but in 2015 we saw a rapid increase in the events that were happening, you know, even like there were more distributors opening up shop. And possibly it's because maybe I was in a bubble before and there was no one was writing about these events. Maybe they used to happen, but I can tell you for a fact these events have grown over time, and this is a nice indicator of how the industry has grown. When it also comes to consumption, I've spoken with a few distributors who purport that the increase has been due to, you know, people getting more disposable income, you know, people being more knowledgeable through social media and different media about wine consumption, and they're more interested in their grapes. It has also been another indicator of how the industry has grown, or another reason why the industry has grown, is that wine is sort of a beverage that is more, I don't know how to put this, but it's more like upscale in terms of how people view it, because wine is a drink that people think is a bit fancy, for lack of a better word. Those three indicators, in terms of, number one, disposable income, and also the perception of how wine is, and also information being readily available, has made the industry sort of take on. And another one is, I think there is more distributors coming up. There's companies from abroad. Like when I went to Germany for the Provine Festival, I got many people asking me that, hey, I want to set up shop in East Africa, I want to liaise with distributor in East Africa. And yeah, there's a lot of interest, heavy interest, and also that is a driver of consumption. So those four factors have made consumption increase. The reason I'm making this video is because I get many emails about, oh hey, I want to come to the East African market, I want to research on the East African market. Well, this is what I can tell you overall of how the industry has grown. So I've talked about 2014, 2015, 2016. We had so many events happening. Wine companies now had sommeliers, in-house sommeliers. Restaurants also started having their own wine list. You've seen me review so many restaurants on here. Restaurants started having a wine of the month or table wine. So many restaurants have their own table wine that they recommend to guests, and they started doing deals with different companies to recommend table wines. Restaurants and wine companies started inviting winemakers to come to Kenya. You know, you see how the situation is growing. All these have made the industry really grow. Another thing that has made the industry grow is that supermarkets are now very well stocked. However, clubs, I remember in 2015, I don't know whether the situation has changed, I really don't. Clubs really don't have an extensive wine list. You get the same old wines, you know, the boxed wines or entry-level wines, you know, those brand names that everybody like starts with. Those are the ones you find on the wine list in clubs, but they don't really have, you know, those nice wines. In fact, if you want to enjoy a bottle of wine, either go to a distributor and buy them for yourself, or go to a supermarket or go to a restaurant and enjoy them by the glass. But when it comes to the party or to the clubs, you're not gonna enjoy like good wine there. So yeah, that's me talking about the industry and how it has taken off. And then in 2017 2018 we saw different now companies upping their game in terms of they're not just doing wine dinners anymore, they're doing something else. You know, they're combining wine dinners like out of town sort of wine things, like, you know, I think I saw something, wine in the park or wine in the bush, something like that. So people are now going out of town to enjoy their wines. And also Lelesh winery is now doing wine tours, so the experience is different. The more people demand more quality, the experiences are now growing. People are going out of town. Wine tourism is becoming bigger now. People are now going to South Africa for wine tours, and that is even organized by local companies. People are more now versed with the wine that they drink. And in fact, if you want to find out how the wine industry is doing, just go to Twitter and use the hashtag wine in Kenya. This is a hashtag I've been trying to sort of grow to encourage more people to use this hashtag. If say you're drinking a wine, like if today I'm drinking this Winemasters Chardonnay and I have it on a glass like this, I'm gonna tag wine in Kenya and people can see what we're drinking. At the moment, I'm the only one, I think 80% I'm the one who writes, but I'm trying to grow this. And also I also do a search of wine Kenya and sort of talk to people, see what people are drinking. So if you want to tell me about your wine escapades, or if you just want to share anything on social media, I created a hashtag wine in Kenya, which was originally a Twitter chat, but now it's just basically a hashtag for anyone to share what they're doing in wine. And also if you go to facebook.com/wine in Kenya, you'll see my Facebook page where I showcase what is happening in the industry. So I'd love to say I'm not a wine connoisseur, I'm just a wine enthusiast. I really just am self-taught, and I've also gone to events to learn about these things. I've not done any wine course, but yeah, maybe in the future. So yeah, I'm not a certified wine expert, that's a disclaimer, but I know a thing or two, and I educate people through my Facebook, my social media, through my Facebook, my Twitter, and my YouTube videos, guys. These are available in supermarkets and wine shops. Example include Carrefour, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it well, Chandarana, Quickmart, wine shops and wine shops like Blue Sky, Tots, 5 Liquor in Mombasa. And these wines range between 1350 and 1500. Remember that this is a wine education site and it does not encourage irresponsible or underage drinking. Don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, guys.